reading the Gisford Gazette. He was keeping an eye open for potential mysteries. The headlines, however, were not very mysterious. New traffic light at Twinkle and Main. Butter Barrel Candy Factory begins production in Gisford. Imogen Faulkner celebrates 100th birthday in style. The pigeon shifted her position on the window ledge and stared in at Percival with beady, judgmental eyes. More dust settled onto the leaves of the rubber plant. The office was very quiet. Percival rattled the pages of the newspaper. He read another headline. Interstate 16 to be repaved. That was a good thing. No one should have to drive on bumpy roads. Surely, if Percival Smidgely waited patiently, fate would intervene, and the mysteries would present themselves. Surely, the mysteries would appear. Chapter 1. On a bright morning in early autumn, Mercy Watson went missing. Mrs. Watson looked in the pig's room. "Mercy?" she said. No one answered. Said Mrs. Watson. She went downstairs and looked in the kitchen. There was no pig in the kitchen. Said Mrs. Watson. She walked into the living room. Mr. Watson was, as usual, sitting on the couch. His face was obscured by the Gisford Gazette. The headlines shouted information about traffic lights and birthday parties and butter barrels. "Have you seen Mercy?" said Mrs. Watson. "I have not," said Mr. Watson. Mrs. Watson felt a pebble of worry in her stomach. "I'll just check at the neighbors," she said. "Excellent," said Mr. Watson. But Mercy was not at the Lincoln sisters' house. "What would that pig be doing here?" said Eugenia Lincoln. "Mercy is missing," said baby Lincoln. Her worried face hovered behind Eugenia's for just a moment before Eugenia closed the door, slammed it, actually, in Mrs. Watson's face. Eugenia Lincoln could be quite abrupt at times. Mrs. Watson tried not to let it hurt her feelings. She went down the street to the Endicott's house. Frank answered the door. "Have you seen Mercy?" asked Mrs. Watson. "No," said Frank. "Is she missing?" "I don't know if she's missing exactly," said Mrs. Watson. "It's just that she's not where I would expect her to be." "Maybe she's playing hide-and-seek," said Frank's sister, Stella. "I don't think so," said Mrs. Watson. "At least I've never known her to do such a thing." Still, in the spirit of a potential game of hide-and-seek, Mrs. Watson went up and down Deckawoo Drive. She looked under cars and searched behind trees. She peeped into garages and lifted the lid on garbage cans. Not that Mercy would hide in a garbage can. She was not that kind of pig. What kind of pig was she? Well, she was the kind of pig who liked to eat toast with a great deal of butter on it. Oh, toast with a great deal of butter. The comfort of it, the warmth of it. Mrs. Watson felt a sudden overwhelming urge to make toast even though there was no Mercy to make it for. "Mercy," she called. "My darling, my dear." Mrs. Watson returned to 54 Deckawoo Drive with dread in her heart. What had started as a pebble of worry was turning into a boulder of despair. Mercy lent weight and shape and wonder to all of Mrs. Watson's days. Life without her was unimaginable. Chapter 2. "Mr. Watson," said Mrs. Watson, "I have some alarming news." "Alarming news?" said Mr. Watson. He stood up. The paper fell from his hands. "Yes," said Mrs. Watson, "I think that Mercy might be missing."